Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Sunday, April 17th, 2022. I'm TJ, co host of the Now Mind You podcast, and I'm back again with another review of the latest chapter of Tokyo Revengers by Ken Wakui. This is chapter 249, titled Good Chemistry. As always, before we begin, please keep in mind that there are spoilers, so if you are not caught up, take the time, pause this video, catch up, and then go from there. This will be up on YouTube in perpetuity. I usually like to start with the previous chapter's last panel. In 5 minutes, you're going to all be beaten up, says Mitsuya, cracking his knuckles and grinning. We'll show you real charisma, says Hakai, while grinning and giving what we assume to be the Haitanis a thumbs down. Before I get into the summary, I just want to start off by apologizing for the late release of this video. I was on vacation earlier this week, and when I got back home, my modem decided to die. So I plan to get this to you all as soon as possible, and I thank you for your patience and your understanding. Now for the summary. We pick up right from last week's ending. Mitsuya reiterating that the job is going to get done in 5 minutes. Hakai cuts him off with his idea for a plan, which is to divide and conquer the Haitani brothers. Mitsuya takes it in stride and immediately goes to work on Ran, while Hakai tackles Rindo off screen. Cut to Chifuyu versus Mochi, where Chifuyu is shown to be wiping the floor with Mochi. As Chifuyu throws his final blow to Mochi, we see that Mitsuya and Hakai are doing the same. Ran, of course, accepts his defeat. We see that these 3 wins provide yet another morale boost to second generation Toman. However, this wave Toman is riding on is tenuous. In order for this boost to continue, it depends on the outcome of a few fights that we eventually cut to, right? Takemichi versus Kakucho, Senju versus Sanzo, and Akun versus Shion. Last panels, in this case, Akun. If it were the older days, I would have given up or taken out a knife by now, but I'm fighting alongside him being Takemichi. So I'm not going to show my old cowardly ways. Let's get into the review. Hakai talking about Angry and I? Nah, bruh, that's just you, right? I mean, come on. Now, shout out to Hakai, though, for coming up with that plan. His hot-headedness coming in useful. Also, up to this point, has no one tried this plan against the Haitani brothers? Although, to be fair, that's the same plan that the Haitanis just used to beat him up, right? Hence so I got the idea while I was getting beat up just now. The Haitanis seem to be able to dish it out, but they can't take it. It's odd that they don't have a contingency plan for that, because, I mean, at this point, especially considering their stature, they should have thought that this could be a possibility that they get separated, right? Or it could be that they've gone into this point, or they've gone into it to this point knowing that they don't have much individual fighting prowess, right? Which seems to be more the case. That panel of Mitsuya's face just expressionless after he used instant transmission in front of Ran was just super cold. Pretty much folded Ran's uniform with Ran still in it, right? I really love the way Wakui is somewhat burying the lead with the status of these battles. It even seemed like Chifuyu was the one saying shit before we go to the next panel and see that Mochi is the one on the losing end, right? Second generation Toman just racked up 3 dubs with Hakai, Mitsuya, and Chifuyu, which is dope, right? Again, riding the wave like I mentioned in the summary. Takemichi and Kakucho are looking a little battered and bruised. The Empress, hey, shout out to Creepy Kitten 7, is looking like the momentum she built up has stopped. So remember last week how I talked about, is she going to freeze? It looks like that's the case, right? Especially since we see that Sanzo is definitely playing up the mental manipulation card. Not to mention he looks unscathed and has definitely used that lead pipe. For all that mess, Shion was talking to Akun, especially considering that Shion's got brass knuckles on. It looks like Akun also put a few scrapes on him. Will Akun be able to stop him? That's still up in the air to me. I look forward to being surprised, though. I will say, again, Shion's got brass knuckles on, but it doesn't look like Akun has taken a lot of heavy damage, right? And we've seen what heavy damage looks like in this series before. Shout out to Smiley for once again reiterating the importance of Takemichi's second round battle with Kakucho. Let's get into my predictions and questions. Once again, this was an action-packed chapter. I really liked it, and again, we can't go into this without acknowledging the fact that the continuity is strong, and once again, the backgrounds are undefeated. You're still seeing tons of fights going on in the background. Also, side note, I want to say Chifuyu versus Mochi it looks like there are a bunch of Kanto members in the background with their backs turned away from Chifuyu. So there might be another bigger battle going on too that I can't think of right now, but that just caught my eye. I mean, I guess the real thing, especially kind of following up with what I said with Shion versus Akun, I still don't see Akun winning against a former captain of the Black Dragons, right? I mean, you can make the argument that in this instance, right, going back to Takemichi and how the timeline is currently what the present setting is, Takemichi did time leap to his high school body, right? So he didn't go as far back in the past this time around. And again, this is a one-way trip. So with puberty, the bodies are, especially with boys, right? The bodies are stronger and more resilient. But have they actually done any training, right? It's one thing, go through puberty, and it's one thing like fight all the time, whatever, but that's not training. I mean, you can fight all the time and just lose all the time, right? Which was Takemichi's like kind of modus operandi for a little bit. But I guess we'll find out with Akun if he's truly leveled up. Again, I have to say, what's up with Senju's older brother? How does he fit into all this? I feel like the Black Dragons, or even, I mean, maybe even Taiju might factor into this, but I think they're going to have to play a role in second generation Toman's victory, right? I mean, if this is going to follow the typical shonen tropes, our main character has to somehow eke out the victory. All in all, once again, great chapter, and I can't wait to read everyone else's thoughts. Big shout out to the Tokyo Revengers subreddit. Thank you, everyone, for giving this a watch and a listen. And if you like what you're hearing, as always, hit up the main podcast. Give it a follow at NowMindYouPod on Instagram. You can follow me at TUS4_skate. That's TUSS4_SKATE. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you again for your patience. I'm sorry this came in late. Peace out.